Hey everybody, Mark Lambert here in the Sweet Swan of Mine Distributing Test Kitchen. We're going to cook a pork butt today. We're not doing competition pork butt, we're doing an eaten pork butt. And the best eaten pork butt tastes the best and has the most flavor. It's not the best average barbecue like competition. So what we're going to do, we're going to simulate cooking in a drum. I think a drum produces probably the most intense flavor, cooking directly over coals. But also I think the water smoker, like the Redbox, produces in the end some of the best bark as well. So we're going to try to fuse the two together, and we're going to start this pork butt. It's a pretty good sized compact pork butt. It's about 8 pounds, 8 to 9 pounds. It's probably more like 9 pounds. It fills the pan pretty good. What we did is we did a crosshatch pattern across the top, kind of like you would an Easter ham. We didn't inject it or do anything like that. We left the bone in. We really didn't trim it at all. We just cut this fat cap down a little bit to where when it cooks it separates and it gives us that nice caramelization, that really good bark, that caramelized fat is just going to be awesome. Again, this is an eaten pork butt, so because of that, we always start out, regardless of what we cook, backyard or competition, with little boys night out White Lightning. So first layer of seasoning went down on this last night at about 7 o'clock. It's about 9 this morning, and we coated that down with White Lightning, and then we came right back. What we found to be a perfect combination for backyard flavor is the Sweet Swan of Mine apple chipotle rub. So we put those two on there. We've cooked a lot of pork steaks with that combo and finished it with our spicy vinegar sauce, and it is awesome. So what we're going to do, the plan is we're going to start this pork butt off in the Redbox with about 19 half pieces of B&B char logs. I didn't use the whole pieces because I wouldn't have as many and I want more even coverage in my firebox. So I've got 19 half pieces, and we've got them going in the Redbox right now. We're going to let that thing get up. We want, 350, 400 degrees is fine. When we put it on, we want some sizzle. So the idea is that we're going to get the fats to start to render out of this pork butt. Some of the juices start to come out. We want those things to hit the coals. We want that high heat, that intense heat, so we went with 2 lower sugar rubs to caramelize the outside of the pork butt very quickly. We're going to throw a piece of tan oak, and you're going to see more about tan oak, but our friends in the Northeast have this tree called a tan oak. The Indians used to use the bark to tan their hides because it has a high concentration of tannin. So the tan oak is a really unique flavor. It's really, really good. It goes perfect with pork steaks. It goes perfect with pork butts, with chicken, with steaks. It doesn't really matter. We found it to be an intense flavor, but not bitter. It's still mellow enough to use and have that intense flavor. So we're going to put it on there, get it browned on all sides. Then we're going to wrap it up and put our water pan in, add some more coal, and let it finish off and get happy. We're going to have the Tappy Key running today that's going to help monitor our cook, both in the Redbox as well as in the pork butt. And we're hoping that it's going to take about no more than an hour to get this thing ready to wrap. And at that point, hopefully we can cook this big pork butt still in about 6 hours. So we're going to move over to the Redbox, and we're going to put it on when we get to temp, and we're going to get cooking today. Hey, we're here in front of the Redbox. We're going to go ahead and get this pork butt on there. Our Tappy Q shows it's about 450 degrees inside there with that 19 half pieces of B&B char log. We're going to pull this out. We're going to go ahead and get this probe into our pork butt. And we're going to start this dude off. We're probably going to go ahead and start it fat side up. Let's just say that. And we're going to get the, ooh, that probe sizzled when you put it in there. It's so hot. So we're going to put that probe pretty deep into that pork butt. Actually, this is a 2-part probe. So this probe has a probe that monitors the pit temperature as well as the meat temperature in 2 different points. So we can't put it in quite that deep. So we're going to go, I think our probe right here for the pork is here, and it's up here for the meat. So I'm sorry, for the pit up here and here for the meat. So we're going to insert it not quite as far. We're going to have to move this when we flip it because it needs to brown all on both sides. That's the whole quick cook idea. We're going to simulate that really good drum flavor. So as you can see, we've got our heat diffuser, a dry heat diffuser set up in the bottom. Our coals are right down here in the very bottom. You can see those B&B char logs are glowing down there. And we're gonna let this dude run. We're gonna set our timer for about 30 minutes. We're gonna kind of get an idea. We'll know what's happening. It's gonna be sizzling and we're gonna smell it. We're gonna take one good chunk of this tan oak. We're gonna drop it right in there on top of the coals. And we'll monitor that. If we need to put another chunk in about 30 minutes or so, when we flip it, we'll put another one on there. So we're gonna let this dude go, and it's gonna make this place smell awesome. So getting ready to get started cooking, and our pit temp is coming back up and our meat temp is at 42 degrees. We're gonna watch and see how it does. Y'all stay tuned. All right, the internal temperature is at 56. Cooker's running at 407 degrees. And look at the color. Woo-wee. Won't take long. I don't even think we're gonna wind up flipping this butt. It's got nice color from the bottom and the top because of our heat diffuser down there. You can see we've got flavor happening because it's dripping down on there. And some of it's hitting the coals, some of it's not. So we're gonna wait about another 10 minutes or so. It could give us about 35 minutes, and we're gonna put it in the pan, wrap it up. Hey, we're back at Sweet Swan of Mine Distributing doing this combination drum reverse flow red box pork butt. We coated it down with our White Lightning. We put the apple chipotle rub on it. We put it in the red box at 400 degrees, and it's been about 35-40 minutes now. As you can see, our crosshatch fat on the top is starting to separate, and it's got that nice caramelized bark on it. Look at the bottom. The bottom is perfectly charred, got that wonderful color to it. That tan oak is putting an awesome color. See there, even on the side, all the way around this butt. We didn't have to flip it. We didn't know exactly how it was going to work. I thought I might have to, but I'm glad I didn't. That made these this sort of ham pattern on the top look really, really, really nice. It's going to make it taste awesome. So we've got it off the cooker, and we know now about how long it takes to get this appearance. This is what we're looking for. We wanted to set this flavor first. So we're going to put a little bit of moisture in the pan here just to help keep it from burning. So we got a little Martinelli's apple juice, and I'm just going to put, I'm thinking about 3/8 of an inch of juice in the bottom. And then we've got some Sweet Swan of Mine spicy vinegar sauce. This is our sweet and spicy vinegar. This is my favorite. This has been our best combination when we're cooking pork steaks. And we're just going to drizzle some of this across the top. I'm not going to use a lot of it, just enough to coat the top of it. I'm going to hit each of them little bark pieces. It'll help preserve them a little bit. Just enough. There. We didn't use much. We might have used 4 ounces at the very most. Now then, get our aluminum foil ready. Let's get these off. We don't need those anymore. Pull a strip of foil off, and we're going to wrap this in the pan. And we're going to have a lot of juice in here. That's why I'm keeping it in the pan. We want to make sure that we contain it really well. We're going to wrap it nice and tight. But you see what happened. Be careful. I tore it, which means another layer of foil. Get a little too aggressive with this thinner foil, and it will tear. So the only hole I want to have in there is for my meat probe. Now for competition, you don't want to stick a hole through there because you may have a piece of foil go inside your meat. For this, we're not worried too much about that. Nice and tight, and she's ready to go back on the pit. Now you want to take this over just a little bit. If you cook hot and fast, you want to go, typically 205. If you cook low and slow. Hot and fast, we're going to go up 212. We want this pull tender, so we're going to take the probe out of it, and we're going to open this up so you guys can see what this looks like. And we're going to let it cool down before we're going to drain some of the juice off of it. But we're looking to see what this backyard pork butt, how it looks. Now, believe it or not, it's 1:15. We put this thing on at about 9:15. What's that, 4 hours? This is a 9-pound pork butt, y'all. So when you start out at 450 and brown it all off in about 45 minutes and wrap it up and just let it slowly come down, We added about 5 B&B char logs after about an hour, just to make sure we maintain in that just over 350 for about 4 hours total. And we'll see what we got. And this is experimentation, y'all, so this is kind of like Christmas. You never know what you got. And some of this is stuck to the top of this butt just a little bit because I put that sauce on there. It pulled some of the little crackling off. That right there. Little pieces right there. Look at that dude. Look at this. Just pull this blade bone out of there. Woo-wee. Got a little bit of juice in there. This is over here on this money muscle side. And look at that. Super duper tender pork butt. You can pull back these little old bark pieces. And this is just fat. And if you like that caramelized fat, you can eat that. But otherwise, you come in here and you've got pulled pork. It's succulent and juicy. Now you see that texture? It was 212 degrees internal, but you still got texture. Look at there. These pieces pull apart real easy, but they're not just mush, they're not just falling apart. And you see that there's steam coming up, and where there's steam, there's moisture. So, as you can tell, we've got a wonderfully cooked pork butt in less than 4 hours, really. And the flavor you're going to get off of this is, we're hoping, is going to be akin to like what you get off of a drum cooker. Yeah. It's got that drum. If you've ever done it, you know what I mean. But when you cook food right over the coals and the juices hit the coals and it vaporizes, that flavor comes back into the meat. And that's what you've got. You've got not grilled, not smoked, but real barbecued pork butt. And this is backyard style, and it's got a lot of flavor. And so our experiment worked. We've got the drum flavor with the ease of the red box. And this thing has got texture. And you saw we had that thing at 212 degrees, and look, it's still got some texture. And when I'm eating backyard pork butt, I don't want it mush. I don't want it falling apart. I want to put it on a board. I want to chop it up a little bit. I want a little bit of texture to it. And I'm going to drizzle some more vinegar sauce over the top of it. So, you've got a backyard pork butt recipe. We'll try it again with some different flavor profiles until we get it just absolutely perfect the way we want it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing here in the test kitchen. Going to be bringing a lot of more of Redbox videos to your doorstep. God bless you. Thanks for watching.